Yesterday, the Coyotes softball team stunned Summit League tournament host North Dakota State 10-1 to move within one win of their first ever NCAA Division I tournament berth. The Bison battled back into the championship, and despite yesterday's outcome, the Coyotes knew that beating NDSU on Championship Saturday is a different animal. The Bison have won 10 of the last 11 tournament titles. They need to beat USD twice today, and they jumped on them early in the first game. Madison Camacho slapping a triple to the corner the other way. That makes it 1-0 NDSU. Controversy with the next batter. Vanessa Anderson bunts. USD appears to get Camacho at home, but the umps convened and said it was catcher's interference, so the run scores, and USD coach Robert Wagner understandably not happy. It's not as if you need to give the Bison extra outs, and they kept piling it on. Kara Beatty with an RBI single. 3-0 after one. That was pretty much it in game one. Coyotes couldn't scratch across a run. There's been a rain delay, too, 6-0. So that forced a winner-take-all. Second game, the freshman Paige Vargas, who pitched the first game for NDSU, was out for the second. She was just as dominant. And then it's Maddie Hansen bringing home the first run for the Bison in the first inning. It's 1-0 after a little bit of an error out there in the outfield. Third inning, Camacho continues her RBI spree as she knocks that one back up the middle. It was 2-0 NDSU. They built a 3-0 lead in the sixth when USD finally gets on the board. Lauren E. Miguel lining one into center field. That cut the deficit to 3-1. But the Coyotes could not complete the comeback as Vargas gets Alyssa Fernandez to ground out to third. The Bison win their 8th Summit League title in 9 seasons with a 3-1 victory. USD is left heartbroken. Augustana's softball program will likely be competing in the Summit League tournament after they move up to Division I in a few years. In the meantime, the Vikings are leaving no doubt that they're one of the best programs in all of Division II. Today playing for the Central Region Championship against host Winona State. Same setup as the Summit League tournament, with Winona needing to beat the Vikings twice. We were scoreless until the 5th when Christina Pickett exits stage left and nearly took out the cameraman. It's 1-0 Augie. However, in the home half of the inning, Winona loads the bases, and Alexis Kelly takes ball 4 to bring in the tying run. We would stay at 1-1 until the 7th. Warriors had the winning run on second with 1 out. Lanny Van Zyl knocks it up the middle. Katie Kolb comes in to score for the walk-off winner. So Winona gets the 2-1 victory. That sends them to a second title game. We were tied at 1 in the third inning when our former athlete of the week, Shannon Peterson, that's why we made her our athlete of the week. She comes up clutch with an RBI single to make it 2-1. Now Winona tied things in the 4th inning, but the Vikings quickly regained the lead. Ashley Mitchell with a rope to bring home Becca Kupel. And it's 3-2. It would stay that way all the way into the 7th inning. Winona got the tying run aboard. Olivia Walters came in for the save, and she gets the tapper back to the mound. Time to dogpile in Winona. This Augustana wins the Central Region Championship 3-2. They are heading to the Super Regionals. Congrats to Greta Melstad and her crew. College baseball, SDSU looking for its 7th straight win in Summit League play. Game 2 of their set with Oral Roberts would be the Golden Eagles, who struck first. Isaac Coffey was caffeinated. He doubles off the wall to bring home a pair of runs in the first inning and get the Golden Eagles out to the early lead. The next inning, it would be Henson doing things for the Eagles as he blasts this one a little ways beyond the fence as the Golden Eagles went out to a 5-1 lead. Jacks did make a rally in this game in the second inning as Nick Smith will hit the fly ball down the left field line. He's out, but it's good enough to bring home Ryan McDonald and get State to within 3 runs at 5-2 heading into the 5th inning, and that was when it was McDonald's turn. He'll come up and get an RBI single to bring home Logan Holtz. That made it 5-3. Oral Roberts got a couple more. This game was suspended in the 6th inning. They'll pick it up again tomorrow at noon, followed by the regular scheduled finale game as well. And in the NSIC tournament, it's Augustana defeating St. Cloud State 10-5. They head to the championship game tomorrow at 10 a.m. They'd have to lose twice to be denied an NSIC title, and it could very well help their hopes of hosting the Central Regional next week. For the first time this season, the Aberdeen Wings are on the brink of elimination. Last night's 4-2 loss to Amarillo in the first game of the Robertson Cup best-of-3 semifinals means they must win Game 2 tonight to force a decisive third game tomorrow. Doesn't get off to a good start. First period, Logan Genuine, he actually played for the Wings the last time when they were in the Robertson Cup 3 years ago, and well, you kind of wish he was still playing with them after a move like that. Just like last night, the Wings getting a 2-0 hole, but late in the second, they start to rally Jonathan Bendorf to Tim Mikowski, and it's 2-1. And then in the final seconds of the period, the Wings get a bit of a break as they get the turnover, a pileup on net, and look at Nick Sickley jam it in for the game-tying goal with just 7 seconds left. And that is the score we have right now. They are currently in the third period. This thing got off to a bit of a late start because the other semifinal game ran long. So if Aberdeen can come back and win this game, they will force a decisive third game tomorrow. If they lose, their season's over. We'll certainly update you tomorrow on KDLT News at 5 o'clock. Last night, the Premier Center hosted the Stampede in Game 1 of the Clark Cup Finals. 24 hours later, turned into a football field for the Storm as they hosted the Green Bay Blizzard. And look at that big fella. Malcolm Goins is going into the end zone on the blocked field goal and recovery. It's 7-3 after one. Yeah, that was quite a sight. And here's quite a sight. Lenore Footman to Keslow Smith, about 3 spins, and he's gone. 44 yards to the house. It's 17-10. Green Bay on top. That didn't go so well for the Storm, but that did go that well for their fans. As you can clearly see, she said yes. Storm trailed at half, but here's Lorenzo Brown going 23 yards to Brandon Shepard. And Sioux Falls does complete the comeback to get the win, 44-237. Couldn't hold that cough in all day. The Sioux Falls Thunder Soccer Club in its third season playing their home opener against El Sierras over at Yankton Trails Park. Looked like we were going to get rain, but it actually stayed pretty clear. And speaking of clear, how about this shot? A few minutes after the opening whistle, Bryce Holliday working it into Jean-Marc Mpimba. Hope I got his name right, and it's 1-0. A little bit later on, El Sierras gets a chance from long range, but it's stopped by Thunder goalie Minor Enriquez to keep the lead at 1-0. A few minutes before halftime, the Thunder are at it again, and it's that man again, Mark Mbepa, getting the rebound and finding the back of the net for his second goal of the game. They would add 2 more and go on to get the victory by a final of 4-0. We say nil in soccer, not 0, not nothing, 4-0. Also, the Minnesota Twins split a doubleheader with the Detroit Tigers. And congrats to the Augustana track teams, men and women. They finished 2nd and 3rd at the NSIC Championships. We'll be back in 1 moment.